Hello there. We realized, of course, after we made this thumbnail and titled the video that some people might be confused and were actually expecting to read something about an iconic Disney park that is going to be closed. No, we're going to talk about clickbait, though, in the Disney blog. So come on and join us. Welcome to Don't Do Disney
Without Us.
My name is Daniel.
And my name is Zach.
And welcome back to our show.
What was that little, look at the...
I realized that I inhaled right in the middle of the intro when they would be seeing a logo on the screen. So it's like, you get our theme song, plus me inhaling. That's no extra charge. This is a little show where we like to talk about all things dealing with Disney, including the theme parks, the movies, the streaming services.
And sometimes, but not often, the sports.
Yeah, the hotels, the television, all kinds of things. Anyway, we like to cover all these things here. I don't know. Now I've gone off script and I have no idea what I'm saying, but
podcasting is hard.
This is episode 7 of this season, so thank you for rejoining us for that. And tonight we're going to talk about a couple of things. Well, actually, we're not. We're going to play a game dedicated to the Disney blogs. But before we get there, let's talk about, we have an upcoming trip to Walt Disney World. We're going to be going to Walt Disney World next week.
Yes.
For your birthday.
Yes.
And tell us all about it.
Well, a lady never tells her age.
I didn't ask how old you were. I said, tell us about your trip.
So, we live an hour from the parks. So you might wonder, do you ever get bored going to the parks and doing the same things over and over and over and over again? And if we actually did that, the answer would be yes.
But we don't do the same things over and over and over again.
We do not.
Yeah.
So we are specifically, while we will be doing sometime in a couple of the theme parks next week, we are trying to plan a trip and do things that we don't either normally do or do as often as we probably should or have never done before.
So we're going to rent those little power boats and go out on the Seven Seas Lagoon?
I'm not opposed to that. We don't really have plans.
I think we tried to do that when we stayed at Fort Wilderness once.
You were going to call it Camp Wilderness, weren't you?
It was. And the Fort Wilderness Marina was closed. So I don't...
But I do not believe that all of the marinas are closed
anymore. Know because I've not seen those boats out there.
Well, just because you've not seen it doesn't mean it's not true.
If they're renting, if the marinas are open, I would like to rent a boat. I would like to go out.
You would like to be on a boat?
Yeah, I'd like to be on a boat. Are we going to play mini golf?
We are. We have the water park and sports add-on to our pass. Mm-hmm. And while we occasionally remember that the water park portion of it exists, we forget that the sports portion of it exists.
I feel like in the past, we had to play the putt-putt golf either at one of their two courses. We had to play it like in the evening or something. There was something weird, or we had to do it.
Well, you still do.
In a day.
You have to do it. The water park and sports add-on allows one free round of golf per person. I think it's before 2.
Okay.
So there is that time.
Yeah, and so we never really do the water. We never really did the putt-putt golf because we rarely stay at Disney. And so in order to be there in the morning, we would have to get up really early. And so we're not doing that. This time you're bearing the lead because if you'll see item number 1 there, this time we're staying at Coronado Springs. So we are actually going to be staying at Coronado Springs for 3 nights, 4 days, 3 nights. Is that right?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, technically Saturday, but we're not really doing anything Saturday. So
yeah, we're going to stay at Coronado for several days and, but not in the tower.
No, sadly, when they announced the annual pass holder room discounts for the spring, I saw that Coronado was on there. And the reason we don't stay on property is just because it's so damn expensive.
Yes.
When we can go off property to a Marriott and get a room for oftentimes less than $100 a night.
Correct.
Justifying the Disney prices just can't be done.
Yeah, but for our Run Disney weekend, we stayed in a place for $200 a night, but that was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, fully furnished apartment. And my sister came in for the one night, and she stayed at a Marriott for like $79 a night, right next to Disney.
Right.
So it's like,
and we were splitting that cost with 2 other people, so it was only $100 a night per couple.
Yeah. So anyway, we're staying in Coronado. We're gonna do some dinners for your birthday. Like your actual birthday dinner is what, Gico?
Yes.
So
I would have loved something like, I don't know, Space 220, but those reservations don't exist, and I'm not standing in line.
Wow. I mean, we could try.
We could, but then we'd have to cancel.
Yeah,
Gico.
but the new rules.
Yes, the 2-hour cancellation policy.
New rules mean that we could.
But yes, so because Disney rooms are so ridiculously expensive, when the pass holder rate for Coronado got it down to below $200 a night, I was like, okay, I'm willing to pay that.
But not in the tower.
No,
just to let you know.
Right. The tower was, I think, a little more than $200 a night. And
we're in the old section, of course, the old Coronado. The convention center, old,
yes.
The casitas and the Rancho Relaxo.
That is not a thing. Stop trying to make it a thing.
There's a section. They're broken up into 2 parts. You look it up. There's the casitas and there's the Rancho Relaxo. There's the two parts of Coronado Springs, and then the tower. 3 parts of Coronado Springs. Yeah, you're actually looking it up.
Yes.
They're called rancheras. They're not called.
No, it's called Rancho, but I don't think it's called Rancho Relaxo.
No,
I think
Rancho
that's something that you've made up.
I didn't make it up. Rancho Relaxo is a quote from The Simpsons. If I find the clip, I'll drop it in here. Anyway, well, I guess I should give myself time to. If I find the clip, I'll drop it in here. Anyway.
And if you just watched us make weird faces at the camera, he didn't find the clip.
Anyway, that is our upcoming trip. So we'll let you guys know. We're also going to take our stuff there. So I think we're going to actually record our next episode
from our room at the Coronado Springs.
From our room?
Or somewhere else.
I mean,
but yes, we're doing dinner at Toledo, which is amazing. Yes. We may be trying to get together with some friends at Dahlia Lounge right across the way on Friday.
Did you know that there are 2 restaurants on Disney property that are listed in the Michelin Guide, and Toledo is one of them?
Really?
It is not a Michelin star restaurant, but it is listed in the Michelin Guide.
What's the other one?
Victoria and Albert's.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
That was a stupid question.
So we're eating at Toledo, we're eating at Gico, and we're eating at the Flying Fish.
Yes. Yeah. And I had 2 reservations, one for California Grill, one for Flying Fish, but the last time we were at California Grill was an unpleasant experience.
Not from them.
Not from them. And I felt like we needed to give them another go around. Also, they've slightly changed the menu since the 50th ended, but we haven't eaten at Flying Fish at all since they reopened.
I don't think we've eten at Flying Fish since like 2018.
Yeah,
or so.
It's been a while. Several years.
And it was quite good. If I recall, it was quite good back then. All right, let's play a game. As you are you done? Did you have anything else you wanted to add about our trip to? I mean, you guys will see it when we're there. We'll let you know.
But no, we're gonna play some mini golf either at Winter Summerland, probably Winter Summerland because it's over near Blizzard Beach, which is closed right now. So theoretically, there shouldn't be that many people there.
Yeah.
We will be going to Typhoon Lagoon. So if you see us there, say hi. I've never actually seen Coronado outside of the 3 bridges and the tower. So I'll be interested in like exploring the resort and seeing what's actually on Coronado's property.
Yeah, we're going to be there on one of my run days, so I have to run at Coronado. So
you'll see the gym.
No, I was going to map out. I feel like that Central Lagoon is probably big enough that I could do an entire loop around that. I'll get on Google Maps and measure and see how big the area around it. All right, let's talk about our game that we're going to play here tonight. The game that I am calling Click Me, Click Me. Deals with one of our grumbly topics that we have between ourselves on most days, which is the ludicrosity.
Is that a word?
No. The ludicrousness of the Disney blogs that specialize in clickbait. And I know you know what I'm talking about. There are several Disney blogs that will print an article that is just the clickiest of clickbait that you've ever seen. You can guarantee that if you click on that headline, you're not going to. It's not going to tell you anything.
Wherein all they have done is taken someone's tweet from Twitter or post from social media and without permission and just made some vague, crappy article
Disney
about it.
fans up in arms about the podcast Don't Do Disney Without Us, and then their proof of it would be a single tweet from some account that has 6 followers that says, I really hate those guys. It's that kind of a thing. So what I've decided to do is...
If anyone out there actually hates us, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and don't use Twitter, for God's sake. Anyway, send it to our email. There's 3 particularly egregious ones out there. Inside the Magic. What are you upset? Or you think they're going to come after us or something?
No. I was going to say something and I'm like, no.
Inside the Magic, Screen Rant, and why can't I tell? Disney Dining is the new one. DisneyDining.com. Not to be confused with the Disney Food Blog, although they do get a little clickbaity sometimes. But
a little. These
are definite clickbait. And I want to draw this distinction. I feel like I'm laying down caveats when I don't need to. But, it is okay to say something like this new menu item is going to get a lot of people excited or something like that, right? It's okay if the article tells me what that menu, what that item is. Right. I'm talking about clickbait that has nothing to do.
The difference between, as we learned in a YouTube video once, type 1 clickbait and type 2 clickbait.
Right.
Where one is actual just bait to get you to click the article, and the other is just shit that's completely made up.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I've chosen 3 headlines from all 3 of those websites that I just mentioned.
Okay.
And I'm going to read you the headline and then give you the summary of the story. And I want you to rate the clickbaitiness of it, from like 1 to 5. So I'm going to scramble up which ones I'm reading you, and I'm going to write down the scores, and then we'll find out which site has the clickbaitiest out of this 9.
On this completely arbitrary scale.
There's no science behind this.
One is least clickbaity, 5 is most clickbaity?
Yes. 5 is just, my God, I can't believe
I feel like we need to define the scale here.
Here we go. So this is headline number 1. If you're watching on video, I'll throw it up. Disney World Skyliner in danger amid latest development. That is the headline. The Disney World Skyliner in danger amid latest development. If you were to bother to read the story, they are, through just sheer speculation, I can't talk, through sheer speculation have decided that the Skyliner might be considered a fixed guideway, and therefore it would be subject to the state inspection along with the monorail, which is a new bill that was just passed by the Senate. So absolutely nothing there, that law passed the Senate. It hasn't made it to the House or hasn't been signed by there is no law yet. But
I mean, there will be, but
it's being appealed, right? It's already, with Disney suing the state of Florida, it's already being appealed. So nothing's going to happen on that. Also, I'd like to point out, the Florida Department of Transportation already inspects monorails at the airports and everything. It's not like they're going to shut down the monorail. They're just going to inspect it, which just means that Ron DeSantis could conceivably grief Disney and have it shut down for a day or 2 while they do some in-depth inspection or something like that. But
then we'll get clickbaity headlines about that.
Right. But
guest forced to walk.
Right. But they only inspect it once every 3 years. So it's not even like, we're going to inspect it every week or whatever. Anyway. So on a scale from 1 to 5, Disney World Skyliner in danger amid latest development, what would you be your number?
So I would say that's a 2.
As 2.
Because it's not, the only thing that's really clickbaity is in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's in danger of what?
Okay. So a 2. Can you keep track of that? Because I'm in read-only mode over here, I guess. Because I didn't do the right. I don't want to bring it up on the monitor here because then he can see, which I've grouped them together by site. So site number 1, article number 1, you gave it a 2. Okay?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Another headline from a random site. After fan backlash, Disney makes change to classic attraction. So this has to do with the removal of numerous animatronic pirates from the Disneyland version of Pirates of the Caribbean, which have all shown back up. Amazingly, refurbed. So has nothing to do with fan reactions or fan backlash, whatever. They pulled the animatronics out so that they could refurb them and then put them back
as
in.
they do.
Yeah. So it's like, so screw you. There was nothing sinister, no fan backlash, nothing. Fans may have been complaining about it and they gave examples of tweets about it, but that had nothing to do. Disney basically was refurbing their animatronics. So
after fan backlash, what?
After fan backlash, Disney makes change to classic attraction.
4?
Yeah, 4. Because there was no change. They just put back the animatronics that they took out. That wasn't a change. All right, so site number 2, headline number 1, give it a 4.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Another headline. Fans call for major, all uppercase, major update on this Disney resort hotel.
I would say that's probably like a 1 or a 2.
Do you want to hear the summary of it?
Oh, yes.
A single person on Reddit is unhappy with the movie choices that they have included for the All-Stars movie resort. They recognize the fact that the rooms have been refurbed since it opened in 1999, so they don't have a problem with the rooms. They want them to change the theming on the outside for specifically Herbie the Love Bug and Mighty Ducks because those aren't very popular. Now, again, let me read you the headline. Fans call for major update on this Disney resort hotel. And I'd like to remind you, one fan on Reddit, and their whole argument is, I don't like Herbie the Love Bug. They should change that.
Yeah, okay, I'm changing it.
All right. So that was site number 2, headline number 2. What did you give it?
Give a 4.
Okay.
Numbers are arbitrary.
Okay, here we go. Site number 3, headline number 1. Are you ready? Oh, I shouldn't have told you which site it was because now I'm not evenly distributing. All right.
I'm just writing down the numbers, so
I don't remember the order I did them in. So when I tell you so it was site number 1, headline number 1, site number 2, headline number 1, and site number 2, headline number 2.
2-2.
Tutu? What kind of name is that for a dog? All right, here's the next one. Disney is repeating a crucial Pixar mistake it didn't learn from Lightyear. So that's the headline. And if you read the article, it turns out that the movie that they're talking about, which is the new Elemental, is going to be released on the same date as The Flash and Asteroid City, which they are sure are going to take away from their box office numbers.
Okay. I mean,
Disney is repeating a crucial Pixar mistake. I mean, is it really? Is The Flash really that big of a crossover with Elemental? Like a kids movie and a CW, I mean, basically a DC action hero film. I don't think those are really competition. And Asteroid City is a Wes Anderson film. So I don't think that's a crucial mistake. Also, this is like tea leaf reading, right? It's like, yeah. Anyway.
I mean, box office is...
All right, so what's your score, 1 to 5?
3?
Okay. So that was site number 3, headline number 1.
The only thing that really pisses me off about it is calling it crucial.
Yes.
I mean, scheduling a movie is difficult.
Right. I'm just saying, but I chose these because they are clickbaity, right? I mean, that's my point.
What site number?
Site number 3, headline number 1.
Okay.
All right. Disneyland takes it too far. Serves guest abomination during special event. So
I know exactly what site this is, and
I need a score though.
That's a 5.
That's a 5 because what
I've been involved in conversation about this.
Okay, what they're talking about is the Disneyland had an after-hours event called Star Wars Night.
Yes, and they had that disgusting thing with like a chicken.
Not disgusting. Here it is. It's a picture of it right here. I'll put it up on the screen. A snacky sundae, which
it's got a chicken nugget in it.
It's a Grogu themed snack which has warm boba, cookies and cream ice cream, and matcha cream topped with a snack mix, gummy candy, a macaron, and a chicken nugget.
Yes, and all of those things individually are good, but all in one cup, that's just gross.
Okay, I mean, in fairness, if you look at it, the chicken nugget is sitting on top. He's like, you can
Yes,
eat
I know,
the
you
chicken.
can just take it out, but still.
I mean, but you can eat the chicken. It's Grogu, chicky nuggy. I mean, that's the thing. Anyway,
which is it's very interesting to me that they threw that in there, given that that's the internet meme version of Grogu, and I mean
Yes.
As far as I know, he never eats chicken nuggets in The Mandalorian.
He does eat a frog, though. Anyway, that is site number 1, headline number 3. What did you give it?
5.
5. All right. Here we go. Disney World monorail will soon be forced to shut down. That same thing as before. The bill that just passed the state Senate says that the Florida Department of Transportation is allowed to, or is required to inspect the monorail system at Walt Disney World.
Yeah. 5.
Okay.
Because no, it's not. That's bull.
It'd be shut down overnight or something. It's like, whatever. That was site number 2, headline number 3.
Okay.
Strange World, the movie,
Yes.
Strange World ended an incredible 30-year Disney movie rating streak. Did I say that? Did I enunciate correctly? Rating, not rating, but rating streak.
I'm going to... Oh, wait, hold on. Do you
want
let
the
me
summary?
hear the context of the article first.
Apparently, Strange World was the first Disney animated film in 31 years to score a B on Cinema Score. The previous lowest score was an A-. And I added for context also, who the fuck is Cinema Score? It's like anyway, Strange World ended an incredible 30-year Disney movie rating streak.
I'm going to give that a 2 just because there's no outright lies. And
Are we considering Cinema Score as an industry standard that we're going by?
I mean, I've heard of it, but right. I mean, no, there's no outright lies.
Okay.
And it intrigues enough to get you to click without delving too far.
All right. What was your score?
2.
2. So that was site number 3, headline number 2. All right. And then we'll just go ahead and close out site number 3, headline number 3. Dark Disney theory paints Peter Pan as a murderous villain. The summary? Someone on Reddit has a theory that Peter Pan is a villain.
I mean, Duffy's a villain.
It's true. But we don't write an article.
No.
Dark Disney theory paints Peter Pan as a murderous villain. The reason I chose it was because they're saying it's a Disney theory. It's some dude on Reddit, some rando on Reddit. That's not a Disney theory.
But even it's a theory about something related to Disney, so you could call it a Disney theory. But
I would like to point out, Peter Pan, there is a Walt Disney version of Peter Pan.
Yes.
But Peter Pan, it was a story before Walt Disney made it into a movie. So it's like there are many versions of Peter Pan.
Yes, but I'm going to give that like a 2 as well, just because it's. I mean, that's honestly just a statement.
Okay, that was site number 3, headline number 3, and I think all that we have left to do is
we're not to that portion of the show yet.
No. All that we have left is site number 1, headline number 2. Dwayne Johnson axed from Disney franchise amid a $3 billion lawsuit.
Really?
Dwayne Johnson, that's The Rock.
I am aware.
That? Dwayne Johnson axed from Disney franchise amid $3 billion lawsuit. That is the headline. If you took the time to read the article, they go on and on about how he made an announcement that he was going to be voicing, or he was going to be playing Maui in the live action version of Moana, and also how he starred in Jungle Cruise, and blah, blah, blah. Has nothing to do with any of that, though, even though they spend numerous paragraphs talking about that. No, it turns out that he will not be taking over for Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow in the Pirates franchise, even though there was never any kind of official announcement.
There's a continuation of the Pirates franchise, and B, they're replacing Johnny Depp, C, with The Rock?
Yeah, but this was all just a Twitter rumor.
Of course.
So they're basically saying that Dwayne Johnson axed from Disney franchise amid and the $3 billion lawsuit is the lawsuit that he just got embroiled in recently that has something to do with kidnapping when he was in the WWE or something. So it wasn't him personally. So it all complete. Anyway, what's your score? 1 to 5?
5.
All right. So let's tally up our scores now. Site number 1.
Oh God, you're gonna make me do math?
Yes. Site number 1.
255.
That would be 12. Site number 2.
445.
That would be 13.
Yes.
Okay. Site number 3.
322.
22.
What kind of name is that for a dog?
322, that would be 7.
Yes.
So are you ready? Or do you want to guess which site is? So you're saying that site number 2 was the clickbaitiest at 13
Correct.
points. And then site number 1 close behind at 12. And then site number 3 at 7. So
Correct.
Site number 2, who do you think it is?
I don't think it's Inside the Magic.
Okay. So who do you think it is?
Disney Dining.
It is. It's Disney Dining. Site number 1 was Inside the Magic, and then site number 3 was Screen Rant. And there you go. Those were the scores there. So thank you for playing.
This is not a statement of fact or a scientific anything.
What are you talking about? What are you talking? This is an approved scientific study that we just participated in.
Okay, well, I'm going to go write an article about how Inside the Magic is only the second most clickbaity site on the
Start that again without the phlegm in your throat.
I'm going to go write an article about how Inside the Magic is only the second most clickbaity site for Disney news on the internet. They've been dethroned by Disney Dining.
That's true. There you go.
Inside the Magic is still the most clickbaity site on the internet. Screw them.
Anyway, thank you guys for playing around with that. If you have an example of a hideous, heinous, clickbaity title that drew you in, share it with us. Send us an email, don'tdodisney@gmail.com, or leave it below in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. Anyway, let's move on. Our heroes and villains of the week.
Okay.
Last week was an even. This is an odd. So I think we start with villains. Who is your... No. Do I start? You start. Who is our villain of the week?
Our villain of the week.
Who is your villain of the week?
The person who is designing merchandise for Star Wars. I tweeted earlier today. Happy May the 4th to all the Star Wars fans who celebrate. Sorry that your merchandise looks like a literal pile of dog shit, because it does. The person who is designing Star Wars merchandise needs to be fired now. It's all ugly, and I wouldn't spend a dime on it, and neither should you.
Maybe they hired the guy that does Disney Dinings. I mean, excuse me, the Disney food blog. Oh, man, I ruined that joke.
Yes,
Maybe they hired the person that did the Disney food blog merchandise, which is also crap. Anyway, let's go.
Look,
we're just making friends.
To be fair to DFB,
Yeah.
they've had like 1 or 2 shirts that I've been like, oh, that's kind of cute.
Yeah, out of 30.
Yeah.
There's like 1 or 2. My villain of the week is the Run Disney web designer. Run Disney is the most maddening website that you will ever encounter in your life.
There's not even a place to log in that's easy to find.
You just have to stumble across the login thing, and then it goes, oops, you can't do that. You have to log in. It's like, well, no, duh. I'm trying to
That's
log
what I'm
in.
trying to do.
So, yeah, it was just so horrible. And we were finishing up our registration stuff for the Wine and Dine weekend. And
I need to figure out which of the 10 billion things I want to buy.
And who's your hero of the week?
The trailer for The Little Mermaid. I'm actively avoiding a lot of things regarding The Little Mermaid remake, just because I know it's going to be a long time until we see it, because we will not go see it in theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be a largely faithful remake.
But no, Zach, they've changed the lyrics.
Whatever. But I saw... there was a trailer playing while I was scrolling on the internet, and I stopped and listened to it. I mean, The Little Mermaid is one of my favorite Disney films, and I'm super excited because I really want this version to do well, so that we can watch the racists cry and collect their tears in a jar.
Oh, I certainly hope it doesn't get anything less than an A score on Cinema, whatever.
So yes, I'm very excited for it, and I want it to do well.
All right. My hero of the week is Michael Eisner, who came out in support of Bob Iger this week in the DeSantis-Iger kerfuffle. I just thought that was neat. There's 3 living CEOs and former CEOs of the Walt Disney Company, and it's nice to see them, sticking up for one another. So,
well, except for that other one.
Bob Chapek was unavailable for comment. Also, he started the fight with DeSantis. So I don't know what he would say. Anyway, that's all there is to it, boys and girls. That is a show. Thank you so much for joining with us. Like I said,
for joining with us.
I was going to let it go, but thank you for pointing that out. Thank you for joining us here on this show. If you would like to email us, again, you can do so. don'tdodisney@gmail.com. You can leave a comment on our YouTube video if you're watching there. And if you're not watching the video version, if you're listening to the audio version, hey, we have a video version of the show. You can see it on our YouTube channel, or you can see it on Spotify. If you use the Spotify app, you can see our video version. And if you're watching the video version, you're like, oh, I sure would like to listen to the audio version of this. Well, you can do that too. All you have to do is look for Don't Do Disney Without Us anywhere that fine podcasts are served. Served. And all that is left for me to say, unless you have something to add.
No, we're on all the other social media networks as well.
True,
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm slowly learning how to use TikTok.
All of those links are in the doobly-doo on YouTube or in the show notes on the podcast apps. If you're listening there, you can find all of our social medias there. All that is left for me to say now is whatever you do, please, please, please don't do Disney
without us. What?
This podcast is a proud member of the Pride 48 Podcasting Network. Check out more great shows at pride48.com.